Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone, who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim, that's out there in four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash, Bracha Tam. So, out here another week, prophesying the downfall of Basra, also known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great. And of course, what you know today is America. Because, of course, you know, the leading bully in everything and bully in every country is now, in fact, being rejected. Because Esau was a reject from the very beginning, you see. So a lot of these things that America is trying to do, they are now rejecting, you know, because now is the time. America had its reign just like all other empires. In fact, Edom had two reigns, you know, better known as the first and the second beast. So they've had two runs with it. They were bound for 1,000 years and now out of their captivity, and so they would run a short season, and that season's just about up, you know. So what they did on this second run, of course, iconoclasm, they took down everything and put their images up and made everyone believe that they were the living power. And for a while they were, you know, but they went a step further when they declared themselves to be the angels. They declared themselves to be the Israelites. They claimed themselves to be, pretty much the son of the Most High, you know, the images of Caesar Borgia and so on, you know. But nonetheless, though, Esau was rejected from the very beginning. And that's just it, you know, that bully that, you tried you tell others about it, right? You know, let's just say, you know, for instance, you know, you're being bullied in school. You know, you try to tell a teacher about it, which is a big mistake, you know, because, of course, they defend the Edomite, you know, but you try to tell them about it, and they're like, oh, well, you could just ignore him. Can we ignore him? No, man, you know, and Esau deliberately antagonizes, so that way you go and do something, then you get busted. Same thing happening today, you know. You've seen some of them videos where this Edomite, man, this fucking bitch, man, was just doing everything to antagonize, and these two brothers, man, they started beating the shit out of that dude, man, you know, but they antagonized him, you know. Actually, it was one dude, but it was nonetheless, it was on camera, but Esau antagonizes, you know, gets you to react. But, you know, we got to be, what is it, slow to anger, you know, as the Most High is, you know, because we know that Esau is ultimately going to be punished because he was rejected from the beginning. You know, the Most High hates these Edomites more than we do, but we hate them too, you know. But nonetheless, though, we were brought here because of our sins, our transgressions, and we're the only people that can sin. You know, we were the only people that were given the law, statutes, and commandments. Yes, the others are to follow in it, but if we don't keep them, then the rest of the nations, they ain't going to keep it, because we have to teach them. And that's what it's going to be like when the kingdom gets set up. Nonetheless, though, you know, as in the word of Malachi, chapter 1, the burden of the word of the Lord to Yashala by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Most High. Yet you say, where hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's Was not Esau Jacob's brother? I tried to say it too fast. Saith the Most High, yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness, which is what this place is going to be. After the thermonuclear destruction, it's going to be laid as a desolation, you know, for the dragons, you know, which are, other types of beasts, you know, pretty much, it's just going to be desolate. Wherein Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will turn and build the desolate places. You know? Well, what's the logo of Reading, says the car fire? We will rebuild, right? You know? And the same thing after the Twin Towers, which was an inside job, a Mossad job. We will rebuild. Thus saith the Most High of Hosts, they will build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. You know? This place is the border of wickedness. It's also known as the Valley of Shadow of Death. You know, because there's so many ways to die here. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. You know, it's talking about you red Hebrew Edomites. You know, you so-called Caucasians, man. Most High fucking hates your ass. You know. And that's just it, though. You have no quarter for your own people, man. You, your people are impoverished, and yet you have no quarter for them. You don't even consider them your own. You think you're above them, but they're your own race. So you're not as pro-race as you claim to be. And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Yashala. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If I then be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith the Most High of Hosts unto you, O priests that despise my name. And you say, wherein have we despised thy name? Well, a lot of people, man, they don't want to take heed to this. They just rather go back to being what the so-called white man calls them. They'd rather just go back to being Mexican. They'd rather just go back to being black. And accepting all those things, they'll accept that. But they won't accept that, hey, I was given these laws, statutes, and commandments, and I need to repent. And I need to go out here and proclaim this while I still have time at this door to salvation, which the salvation is coming. Yahushua is coming back. And he's coming quickly. A wise man would say that and would make sure that he falls in line and honor the Sabbath and honor the law, statutes, and commandments given and try to keep it to the best of their abilities. But only the elect are hearing this. 2/3 are going to turn it away. They would rather be like Esau. It also states in other chapters, not sure where they are, but if I was doing it live, somebody would tell me where it was. But it says that don't be a profane person such as Esau. And when he could have, he sold his birthright. Esau was rejected. Just the same as when he was Cain. He was rejected because he really had no regard for the Most High. And that's just it, though. There's a reason for everything, and his season is just about up. We're in that short time that he must go out to deceive the nations, and he did so by changing the images. It's like I was stating before. You don't think he did that, but go rent a movie. Go rent a biblical movie. Go rent the Ten Commandments. You see Esau playing all the parts. You see him playing, the Israelites. You see him playing the Egyptians. You see him playing just about everyone in there, because they want you to believe that the Edomites were always here. But they don't call themselves that. No, of course not. They don't call themselves Edomites. They call themselves everything else. They want you to think that they're a bright light, so they call themselves white. But they ain't white. No, man, they're red, And I know that I'll get a few comments on this just because I went into the subject, But, because we're a scattered nation, scattered unto all people, we're not all going to look the same, So, yeah, I know I look like them, but the Spirit beareth witness. And that's just one thing, though. Then they'll say that I'm trying to promote Christianity. Really? And I was saying that you just call upon the Jesus and you'd be saved? No, man, I'm not teaching that at all. I denounce that. We were all brought up under stretch Christianity in one form or another, or at least we got word of it, And I got to say it, It's been said. Islam knows more about the Bible than Christianity ever did, because they know that this is silly. It's silly to believe, though, that, if he was to save everyone, then why would he take the sins upon himself? But doesn't it make more sense, though, that if he was to save the nation, that he would take the sins upon himself? Doesn't that make a lot more sense? That he came for a specific people, and that he spoke in the Hebrew tongue, and he had a Hebrew name. So that throws out any Greek name or any other language. He only spoke in the Hebrew tongue anyways, It was Paul that could speak in other tongues, and the reason that was to go speak unto those that were still in Gentile state, that were still speaking in the Greek, And that's another thing that they can't wrap themselves around. Vocab Malone is still trying to prove that, he came to save all nations, but that's not so, because why would the Most High, just strictly deal with Yashala and then all of a sudden just say, okay, well, everybody can come into the fold now? Doesn't make any sense. But this has been a lie that Esau has been trying to put out there for a long time. And that lie is being dissolved. Because now's the time to go out and prophesy. As we did when the first Roman Empire fell, this second Roman Empire, Basra, is about to fall. You can see that though, pretty much now they're just boycotting China pretty much, and when you start dumping goods, pretty much you've declared war with them. So they're sending their warships out there. Them war drums are beating, so all the men are about to be cut off because when they shall, when Damascus shall cease from being a city in that same hour, this place over here, Babylon, Basra, is going to become a desolation, a heap, and it'll never be inhabited again. Only the buzzards, the dragons, will fly over this place because it's going to be laid desolate. 200 million nuclear missiles will hit this place, and it'll be a very large earthquake, as described in Revelation chapter 6. The whole earth is going to feel it because it's going to be moved out of its place. So, like everything else, though, they're trying to get us off the streets, and they're trying to slander us. So you can best believe there's going to be more false flags, and martial law is around the corner. And you can see, though, that into everything, that they're getting everything ready for the microchip. That's why, now you have to do a lot of pre-orders by your phone and all that. Get you used to using access codes, or pre-ordering. That's what all this push is. It's for the microchip, the RFID. And eventually they're going to make you have to have one for the internet, too. That you ain't going to get free access to the internet. Them days are not very much longer that you can have free access to this. So get this while you still can. Because the gates of mercy is not going to be open much longer. And then it's just going to be judgments. You're already starting to see the beginning of birth pains. The beginning judgments. So get this while you still can. For that I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Wa Abab Aval, Brakatham Jehovah Elect. Shalom.